to tell you about the moment that I knew I needed a divorce. It's actually because of a conversation I had with my dad. He was in prison at the time and I knew he was sick, so I went to see him. When I sat down with him, he told me that he had cancer, it was terminal, and he was probably going to prison pretty soon. And then he said, "It's okay if I die because I know that I blew my life." And in that moment, I wanted to be like, "No, you didn't blow it," but he did. He was in and out of prison since I was a kid. And he blew his life, and now it was about to be over. It just made me think of everything that we put off in life and the amount of times that we say, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next week, I'll do it next month." And you don't know if you'll ever have that time. So I realized I was blowing my life just in a completely different way. I was in a marriage that I didn't want to be in. I was chronically unhappy. I tried to make it work, but I was unhappy, and I was unhappy a lot of the time. Most of the time I was really suffering, and when you're suffering for a prolonged amount of time, you need to make a change. So a couple months after that conversation, I left my marriage, I started over, created a whole new life for myself. My dad did pass away, but his kind of brought me back to life in a very bittersweet way.
Ho, ho, ho! Fiction can be fun.
Well, I'd like to start off by saying I feel sorry for this woman having had lost her father. That is very painful, and I do feel for her on that one. Now, addressing what she has said about when she was ready to get divorced, let me get this straight. The only reason you put in for a divorce because you didn't feel happy anymore. But you had 2 kids in the marriage. Okay, sweetheart, maybe you didn't learn this lesson in life, but the moment you became a married woman with children, your fifis are out the window. Do you think the man is always 100% happy in a relationship? No, but he sacrifices a lot to make sure that his children and his wife are taken care of. Now, we do not know the dynamics of your relationship. He may have been abusive, he may have been a jerk, or he may have just been lazy. We don't know. Going off of what you're saying, that you were not happy and you didn't mention any abuse of any kind, because trust me, that's the first card women love to play in the game of sympathy. It seems that you destroyed your family off a selfish reason. Your feelings, which change. Now you can toot your own horn and say, "Oh, I'm super happy. I'm the happiest I've ever been." Yeah, that's a tell of somebody who's hitting that copium way too hard. I mean, honey, your story's not new, and we've seen this before. Sure, you're riding the high of, "Oh, I'm so independent now," but sooner or later, this thing called life and reality is gonna hit you in the face harder than Lizzo hitting an all-you-can-eat buffet. And then you're gonna want to know where all the good men are at, because life got tough. Before we move on, I want to bring to attention that 75% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
How am I going to meet someone? How am I going to meet my husband? And what just happened. Let me explain. I went out to dinner with my friends. We had a little drink before, and then we went to dinner. They are going to go out on the town. Me? I was like, I'll pass. I think I need some rest. When in reality, I started junk journaling last night, and I also have the new Frida McFadden, the Housemaid Saga. Yep, I have that one that I'm about to crack open at home. I'm at Target right now getting stuff for the junk journaling, getting a little magazine to do an inspo board. Also, I'm going to get some snacks for tonight, and I could not be happier. I could not be more excited to start a new book and to keep my junk journal going. So how am I supposed to meet someone like this? Not one single part of me wants to go out. Not one single part of me needed more than that dinner with the girls. So how am I supposed to go out? Because I still want to meet someone. Still want a husband and like a kid and family, all that. But not one part of me wants to date to get it. Not one part of me wants to date to get it. So what is the solution? Because dating apps, I can already tell you, not the answer. So don't give me that, but please tell me all of your other answers.
Oh, so this queen wants to know how to meet her future husband and start a family. She wants a solution. Let me tell you something, my junk journal queen. Emphasis on the junk. What you're saying is you literally want the end result of a good guy and a family and kids without putting in the work. You want someone to give you the answer of, "Hey, how do I get a family on a platter? Just hand it to me, that's it." This ain't Burger King, honey. You can't have it your way. You have to get out there and do the work. Apps are tailored towards women, so what do you want me to say? If you want a family, you have to get out there and date. And like every other queen, you're going to say that dating sucks because XY reason. Guess what? Women are the ones who set the dating standard today. Men adapted to the dating market that you women have engineered. All right, how about a couple answers for you? Maybe you could become a passport sister and go to another country where you find these traditional men to take care of you. Wait a minute, that's not going to work. I mean, you're too Americanized. You're going to want to date him and then divorce him after about 5 years. Okay, do they have Build-A-Bears where you could just build the husband that you want? Nope. Well, here's another magical idea. Set your priorities straight. If jungle journaling is your top priority right now, well then forget about getting a husband and a family. I'm sorry there, Colleen, but you are the common denominator in this entire headache. You need to work on you. I mean, if you keep this up, those junk journals are going to be more of the story of your journey on becoming an old cat lady. Moving on.
Have you ever thought that God may have allowed your husband to leave you so that you can be healed? This is what happened to me. When my husband left me, I was so broken that that's where God needed me to be to get a hold of me, truly get a hold of me. He had been doing work in me prior, but to truly get a hold of me, I had to be so utterly broken because I'm hard-headed, and he had to get me to a place that I would actually listen. Sometimes God allows really awful things to happen to us to get our attention, to actually save us. If my husband had left me, I would have not been healed from the childhood trauma that I still had inside of me, which had nothing to do with my husband and nothing to do with my marriage. But there was hidden wounds, deep, deep wounds and demons that I was dealing with that unfortunately, because I'm so hard-headed and because I needed to get to that place, and God knew that these things would not have come out and come to the surface without that happening to me. Things aren't always what they seem with God. God works in mysterious ways, but he works everything out for good.
Okay, Queen, I have got to say, I got to applaud you. I mean, I have seen other videos where women dodge accountability like Neo dodges bullets. But this is a brand new level of accountability dodging. I mean, this queen literally upped the ante to divine intervention accountability dodging. Let me get this straight, Queen. In one video, you clearly admitted that you had a lot of childhood trauma and a bunch of other traumas, and that your husband left you, and you attribute it all to a higher entity, to a omnipotent power that drove this whole thing. You know what? Off the little bit that I just heard here, I have an alternate theory. And this is going to be shocking because I'm not going to include any of the big name deities here. But maybe, just maybe, is it possible that your husband left you because you had a lot of traumas that you were making him pay the price for? Maybe he just couldn't deal with it anymore because you didn't want to deal with it. And he's like, you know what? I'm out of here. And Queen, men put in for divorce less than 25% of the time. And although we don't know why he left you, I can say one thing with confidence. He didn't leave you for another woman, now did he? Because if he would have, you would have said that immediately. I don't know what you put that man through, but he said, hey, I can't deal with this anymore. I'm out of here. I mean, damn, girl, why'd you stop at one deity? You could have thrown a bunch of others in there. You could also said, hey, Odin, Thor, and Loki also agreed. Obviously, it wasn't your fault. You probably didn't do anything wrong. I mean, in fact, the logic is so clear. Your husband had to leave so a deity could push you to fix that noggin of yours. Princess, maybe it was on you to patch that software in your mental computer. There was obviously some malware up in there. Moving on.
Things I don't do for my husband because I'm his wife, not his mom. Number one, I don't do his laundry. I used to do his laundry. We've been married for 6 years. I used to do his laundry. And in the first year of marriage, he would get frustrated if I didn't get to the laundry that week. I've got enough clothes, but he didn't. He'd get frustrated. And I was like, no, I'm not sure, Mom. Do your own laundry. My older son does his own laundry. My husband now does his own laundry. I do my laundry and the little one's laundry. I won't do your laundry. Now, if I need some extra clothes to throw in a load, I'll throw his in there with mine. I'm not about it, but I don't do his laundry on a weekly basis anymore. Number two, on that same note, I do not follow behind him and clean up after him. His nightstand has cups and stuff on it. That's his responsibility to get it to the sink. My mom used to allow her husband to just leave all of his dishes throughout the day all over the house, and then one of us would have to clean up after him and do the dishes. And no, I refuse. You're a big boy. Put your dishes in the sink, in the dishwasher, get them clean. I'm not doing it.
I don't believe I heard you correctly.
All right there, ladies. Pay attention to this video. I want you all to soak all of what she just said in and understand exactly what the hidden message is here. Now, I'm pretty sure that all of you are going to say, yeah, the hidden message is that her husband is a grown adult and she's not going to treat him like a baby. No, that's not the hidden message. What I'm talking about is the long-term hidden message, not the immediate one that she thinks. The long-term one is, this is how you set up a marriage for failure. This is how you're going to end up divorced. They've been married for 6 years and they both work full-time jobs. I understand that. But notice, her whole premise is taking away things that she used to do for her husband when they were first married. That denotes that she no longer respects him. And if you want to make the argument of this means that she respects herself, no. This means that she is putting her wants above everybody else. Even when both of them are working full-time jobs, men usually work longer hours. They usually make more money. They usually pay the lion's share of the bills. And when they come home, they just want to relax. I'm not saying she has to be his maid. But what I am clearly saying is a woman who does that, starts saying all the things that she's no longer doing for her husband and then blasts it on the internet, that translates clearly that she no longer respects her husband. And when they get divorced, because it's obvious it's a matter of when, not if, she's going to be the one putting in for the divorce because she's going to think that she's not happy and she has to go find herself back on the carousel. Let's see what else she doesn't do for her husband.
Number 3, I do not clean his sink. We have separate bathroom sinks. I won't clean his. I'm not saying that mine is the cleanest in the world. Mine can get gross, but I won't clean his. Again, I'm not your mother. I am your wife. I'm not your mom. You are a big boy. You are an adult. You can clean up after yourself. And he knows this. He knows all these things. That's fine. Like, he's a big boy. He can clean up after himself. I'm not going to do it. I'll clean my sink. I'm not going to clean his sink. Even if it gets to the point where it's grossing me out, I will not clean it because I just don't feel like it's respectful to be like, here, clean up after my mess and clean up after my spit and all my nastiness. Like, no thanks, not gonna do it. And I'm sure comments are gonna be like, oh my gosh, but you're his wife, you should be doing those things, you should be taking care of him. No, we both work full-time jobs. Not only do we work full-time jobs, we work for the same freaking company, but I work from home, and that's not easier. I have 2 toddlers that I'm raising at home, so I'm being a stay-at-home mom and I work full-time. I don't have time to take on extra responsibility for a grown man. You can think I'm a bad wife, but it works for us and it causes a whole lot less fights. Also, banana pudding with heat. My God.
Game over, man. It's game over.
You won't clean his sink, but yours can get gross? You know, Queen, I'm starting to see a pattern here. I believe that the issue isn't so much that your husband isn't the cleanest man in the world. I think you're not the cleanest woman in the world. I'm sorry, but if I were venture to guess, I would say your house is a pigsty. Just going off what you've been saying here, Queen, you haven't really said anything that makes us believe that you are the type of person who likes to keep her home tidy. Also, I'd like to chime in and say that your little comment of I work from home, that's not easier. I call BS there, sweetheart. Little known fact about this girl, I've had work from home gigs before. They are much easier than having a 35-minute commute to a company. You have to fill up gas, and you have to take your own lunch, and you have to work over there, and then drive 35 minutes back to take care of the house. No, it's real simple. You get up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, 15 minutes later, you jump on your computer, bam, you're at work. You get to sleep in more, which means that you have more time available. Also, at the end of the day, once you logged off, bam, you're out of work and you're back home. It's like you teleported. Again, you're making more of a case that you're just a lazy woman. Reinforcing my belief that the divorce is inevitable. It'll eventually get there. And if he's good with this entire setup, I got a couple theories on him. Either he's blue-pilled AF, or he's enjoying the fact that he's away from you, or he's got a side piece, and that's why he's not bothered by your shenanigans. Either way, she's not planning to divorce this guy soon. How do I know? Because she's eating banana pudding. If she was already planning to go jump on the Chad Tyrone sausage train, chances are she would be working out and getting thin so she can get hit up by the more attractive guys.
Yeah, boy.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.